Rager.
Yeah. 2 Magma Rages for the price of 1.3.
3 mana 5/1, yeah. Yeah, now it changes everything.
All right, looks like we do have a real game this time. Kolento on Paladin versus Neirea on Priest. And looks like Kolento was playing the Spiteful Summoner version. We saw it mulliganed away from the opening hand. We see Steeds. The big question is whether he's playing that one dino size to really round it out as well in the deck. Because that is pretty sick when you nail it off a Summoner.
Yeah, it's really sick. What's surprising to me is that Priest is not banned.
Mm-hmm. Very true.
So I wonder what the rest of his lineup is from Kolento.
Well, if he has something like more like Paladin, Hunter, maybe Zulok, then it makes a lot of sense leaving up Priest because Hunter is actually, I'm not sure exact win rate, but it's about 50-50 against Priest, I feel like. And Zu is definitely favorite against Priest.
I can see that, but I don't think Paladin is favorite. I think Priest just should just win.
I agree. But actually, it was pretty close matchup in before, like Paladin against Priest. Slightly favorite for Priest. But now Paladin has some nice tools, like
that one, the Dustbreaker.
Like that 4 mana card. And Paladin also has that 6 mana 4 for that summon a minion,
right?
Yeah.
Like that show a spell from your deck and summon the minion.
Yeah. So they both gain tools. Like Priest gain more removal, but Paladin also gained like more big guys to summon.
Yeah. I feel like we've talked in a couple of series about how Dustbreaker wasn't quite as good as everyone thought it was going to be, because a lot of the time you actually just have the board as a dragon-based priestess, and it's just worse than a 4 mana 3/3 vanilla a lot of the time. Murloc Paladin is one of the decks you absolutely just destroy with Dustbreaker, though. So nailing it off the Netherspite is a really big deal, because now Call to Arms is just immediately shut down, even though like Neirea just has the board to contest this anyway. Even if he didn't, he just nukes this into oblivion.
But it's so good here.
Yup.
It's insane.
And, all right, next game.
Yeah, I have a bad habit of calling games too soon, so I try not to do that.
You just play a 6 mana 4/4 guy and summon a Tyrion.
That's true. That is fair.
Well, second Call to Arms can help a little bit right now to fill out the board again.
I don't think that's going to be enough.
Yeah, no Juggler, no Righteous Protector. This just really isn't that difficult a board to deal with for what Neirea has here, and Neirea's just going to start dropping huge threats now. There's only one Tarim sat in Kolento's hand to deal with this huge pile of stats that's coming back.
Well, it's not like Neirea wants to coin Dragonfire Potion here, so that means Kolento will have a target for Steed.
Because it kills your own minions on board. And you don't develop anything.
And then after Steed comes down, Neirea actually does not have an answer for that either, so maybe Kolento can piece together some threats here.
I mean, you ruled it out immediately. Is there ever a world where you consider coin Dragonfiring this? Knowing that you're rolling into the Tarim, Spike Ridge, Bone Mare kind of turns.
He's definitely thinking about it, right? Would you ever coin Dragonfire here, Pavel?
I would consider Dragonfire, but like now, I wouldn't do it probably, especially with that shield top deck. You can just buff your Dragon and kill Tidehunter. Play Radiant Elemental with Talon Priest, buff your Tor Creeper. And you can always Dragonfire Potion later. Okay.
The more I looked at this board state, the more I like this, honestly. I think I would have talked myself into this by the end of the turn. Because now you're a 3-3 ahead of the game. You try and contest what he plays next turn, and you just play a huge pile of stats next turn, and you just feel like that's enough to snowball back against the Spike Ridge Steed and the Bone Mare that could be coming out, right?
Yeah, makes a lot of sense. I forgot for a second that it was a dragon.
Dustbreaker? Yeah. So. Yeah. So I assume he's just going to slam a Megasaur on this? Because he really needs to start guaranteeing buffs, right?
But now suddenly for Priest, if Paladin manage to refill the board once again, it will be so hard for Priest to fight for board because he doesn't have more AoE in his hand. He doesn't have more removals. Well, now he has.
Sorry, you were saying?
You just clear again, right? Because
Yeah, like clearing again and just play Radiant Elemental Shield. Okay, sure. I didn't mind this either.
Righteous Protector's probably the pick.
Yeah.
It's just irritating against an aggro deck. So he does walk into the Bone Mare now, but it's not an amazing Bone Mare, right? Like you can be Bone Mared here and not feel like the game is ending, which is always a small victory.
do you ever steed here?
I like Steed, you can play Steed plus a
Plus a secret, right?
and you get your Megasaur back to your hand, which is one of the most valuable minion in that matchup. You can also trade. You can also kill a 3/2 dragon and play Tarim plus a secret. Get back Tarim to your hand.
I like that now that you mention it. Tarim's super valuable overall against Dragon Priest.
Yeah, it's the most valuable card in
Yeah.
that matchup. Like, just in general.
I do think that if you're a Kolento right now, you just realize that you're in a spot where you have to assume the priest has nothing. You're very far behind, right? It's turn 7 and you're not applying any pressure. So you just make the strongest play possible.
Well, I think the strongest possible play was Pontmer, but
That's a pretty sick Lyra.
Is
You
it?
can hide it behind the Righteous Protector, and it's
Oh, yeah,
it's
yeah.
real unlikely
Oh,
to
yeah.
die, right?
Yeah.
So you just get a full turn of Lyra.
it's
at the
actually
turn
insane
after.
here.
Yeah.
It's actually insane pickup. So, would you just play Lyra, Shield, and Protector now?
Yep.
This should just be GG, right?
Not necessarily.
It's real close. He has 1G. He's just looking for the second.
Like, if he gets some rubbish cards of Lyra, Paladin can still fight. Yeah, like Purify.
Yeah, like that one. Yeah. Yeah. Story checks out. It's honestly not that bad with Radiant next turn, though. Like, he'll probably have the Dustbreaker alive that he can
Yes.
silence for no harm, so...
Oh, what would Pavel roll here? From the Spiteful Summoner?
Easiest Tyrion of his life.
Tyrion is... I don't think Tyrion is great here, so probably Lich King is the most reasonable card to get. And you probably want to get Doom Pact of Lich King, and then draw another Spiteful Summoner, and then get another Lich King, and then get Frostmourne, get a lot of value, and just smash your opponent's face and win the game.
A fascinating look into the life of Pavel, the Hearthstone World Champion.
Maybe he doesn't even play Genocize.
We haven't seen it, right? So we
Yes.
don't know it's in there. I don't know. Is Spiteful Summoner consistently broken enough with just 6 drops, though? That's my question. I feel like you want the insane outcome possible.
Well, 6 drops are good in general.
Yeah.
I would say 8 drops are the best, like 8 random drops
Right.
are the best, and 6 drops, 6 random drops are probably second best.
Sure.
I don't know the exact math behind it, but I'm just greedy. I just want to gem 8 drops.
Yeah, like getting Tyrion or
Yeah.
Ragnar's Light Lord or
It just
the
feels
Lich
better.
King. It's just so nice.
All right, it's a Radiant turn, right?
Yes.
We just going? So Pavel would pull the Silence off Lyra immediately, right? 0 mana Silence.
Yeah, silence is reasonable here.
Yeah.
So play Radiant Elemental, you Potion of Madness a 1/1, you get a Silence, you silence Megasaur, you get a Shadow of Death, you kill a 6/7 with Shadow of Death, get Shadow of Death number 2.
Oh, I saw the 0 mana. I was about to freak out. It's Forbidden Shaping, though. Oh,
But what
Shadow
a-
Visions is clutch, though.
What a terrible misplay from Neirea.
Yeah.
Not getting... Okay, never mind.
Okay.
Okay, now I just need to get second Shadow of Death.
This is what is known from Neirea as seeing the lines. He has well and truly seen them.
Yeah, he navigated this turn perfectly.
It just gave him a Boulder Fist Ogre back in his hand as well.
Yeah, here you go. Shadow Death number 2. Well, I don't mind saving it.
Has he had any Death Realm minions die? I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Okay.
But now he has Pyrus.
Infinite value.
Infinite value. Even though he doesn't need it. But why not?
That's an excellent question. Honestly, trolling aside, it was hard to imagine that Lyra turn going any better than what actually happened there. That was
Yeah,
kinda nuts.
that was just the nuts.
The curveball was that he actually main decks a Silence because he picked it up off the Shadow Visions, but then he ended up pulling a random one off the Lyra anyway.
Yeah.
And then he got Shadow of Death randomly off the Lyra as well, right? That we
I
were
think
kind of
he
trolling about.
got Shadow Death of Shadow Visions, and he got Silence of Lyra.
Really?
I think so.
Check the VOD on that one, Pavel.
Sure.
Okay.
Want to bet?
I'm a Blizzard contractor. I don't gamble on stream.
Okay. Not a good excuse.
So, as Kolento here.
Second Shadow of Death. Yeah, so he does definitely play a main deck
Okay.
Silence, which
Okay.
makes me feel more confident.
So-
but Pavel is wrong.
Is it actually a Dragon Priest or it's a Razakus Priest with dragons?
He didn't discover either of these Twilight Drakes, right? So I'm
Yeah,
pretty
so it's
sure
just
it's
regular.
just regular Dragons.
I think he discovered the Twilight Drake of his Netherspire Historian.
No, he took Dustbreaker, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Come on, Pavel. Step up your game, man. Come on, what's going on? In the meantime, this game is very, very over.
Very over.
Long time ago.
Yeah.
It's the only question why Kolento didn't concede yet.
He's just trying to see cards, right? Because he has to queue back into this priest
Okay,
again.
I see he just wants to show more cards of his deck.
Yeah. He's just gaining info. Because even, like, from Kolento's perspective, has he seen a 2-of be played yet? I'm not sure he has, right?
Yeah, actually he hasn't seen any 2-offs, I think.
Yeah. It's actually kind of hard to keep track with all the Lyra nonsense that happened, but pretty sure.
Yeah, so from Kolento's perspective, it could still be Raza Priest.
Right.
Yeah.
So he's really trying to, like, see a second copy of something get played. 'Cause
And
he's-
Neirea
So-
won't show him anything.
So if
of
you're
course.
Neirea, you should just don't play cards,
Right.
basically.
Yeah. Would you be that on point, Pavel? You remember every copy of every card you played during this game and just wouldn't play a second one?
Well, depends how focused I am. If it's just another ladder game that I don't care about, then no. But if it's an important match in the tournament for me, then usually I remember all of my cards.
Do you play with Deck Tracker when you're playing casually?
Never.
Never? Okay.
Because by playing with Deck Tracker, you're not training your mind,
Sure.
and then when it comes to a tournament match when you're not allowed to use Deck Tracker,
Sure.
it will be harder for you to memorize all of the cards.
You use it, Tyler?
Do I use Deck Tracker?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do use it
gonna
on
say.
stream.
Yeah, 20 hours in.
When you play-
Tyler's rank 2 legend. He's trying to win that last game to go rank 1. Yeah, there's a Deck Tracker on, 100%.
When you play 100 games a day, it's very hard to do it without.
Yeah.
So all these minions, Neirea actually just doesn't want to play them.
But he already
Right,
played in
yeah, he
the
showed
Fire
it now.
Historian, so now Kolento knows that it's just a Dragon Priest and not a Razakos Priest with the
Yeah.
dragons.
He is going to go infinite Pyros value, though, because why not?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Because why not?
Yeah. Just make him feel real bad.
Can we consider this a misplay
I
from
see its
Neirea
dominance.
for showing that it's Dragon Priest?
I mean, we could also be wrong, and there might have been a second copy of something
Yeah.
been
Yeah.
played already. But assuming that there wasn't
Like-
before this, I think it's actually kind of dumb to play a second.
You also sometimes don't play the Druid legendary weapon with your fur.
I don't know if you saw my match on the B stream,
No, I
but
didn't.
Pavel's been bullying me with it. So I had the 4-mana weapon from the Druid as a rogue,
Okay.
and I
From
didn't
a
play it
swashbuckler.
from a swashbuckler. I didn't play it the entire game because I didn't realize I could re-dagger to destroy the weapon.
Oh, Tyler.
If you could have just win at turn 5,
Yeah.
just slam an 8/8 Edwin and with a lot of minions.
I didn't get punished though.
Of course, it's Hearthstone. Why would you?
Yeah.
Lily coming down. There is Master Spell available, which means 11 damage. No, it's not enough. Okay. Neirea just has all the time in the world, though. He can trade through all of this and just still has so much gas to follow it up.
Yep.
Not even a big deal. What if you upgrade your Spellstone a bunch and then just get 3 more Pyros?
Why not? And then just get Enzot somehow. Can actually generate Enzot somehow from a random effects.
Could he?
I don't think so.
No. Wait, free from Amber to get it on the board, and then some way to get it back to your hand again?
Don't.
No. Alright. I give up.
There's no Lyra on board anymore.
Yeah, that's true.
I feel like this is the hardest part of casting games that are over.
Games that are like this over, yeah, because like quite often, like what we do in this spot is like try and find the out, right?
Yeah.
Like what are you trying to set up? What's your 1% to win? That just doesn't exist. There is no 1% this game. Like you're just dead.
Yeah.
You're just 100% dead. You're just playing for information. That's all that's happening.
Makes sense.
Guess we just slam some more Boulder Fist.
How about roping your opponent to death and just make him tired? Just tilt your opponent.
You just rope every turn and just play as slow as possible.
Actually, how about play as fast as possible and then instead of giving a turn to your opponent, just wait until rope. Just to show me that you know what to do. That you already make your turn and then you rope.
Pavel, remember when I called you a nice guy at the start of this? You're not. You're a dick.
I don't think you're allowed to say that
It's
on the cast.
It's SeatStory, it's fine.
I mean, you have contract with Blizzard.
That's true, yeah. Oh,
what
damn.
the fuck, dude?
Fired, damn. Well, finally.
We get to cast
the torture is over and we can move on to a different game. But, I mean, yeah, I called that over pretty much when the Dustbreaker hit the call to arms on turn 4. And then we went 10 more turns after that. So, yeah. That was pretty one-sided. I do actually want to talk quickly, Dragon Priest, like 2 of Dragon Priest, a priest deck that does not play Barnes, Raza, Kazakus, or Anduin. Is that a good decision?
I mean, assuming people that they leave open your priest, they target Raza priest, right?
Yeah.
So I guess
Probably.
it makes sense to play Dragon Priest.
But now, like, some people will see that actually has Dragon Priest instead of a Raza Priest, and some people who would always ban Raza Priest, now they
Will leave
might
it
consider to leave Dragon Priest and ban something instead.
Yeah. We saw that from AKA Wonder, right? Because he originally banned Priest, and then when he had the rematch, he saw the Priest get played in the series against Zixo, and then he went, okay, I'm just going to leave it up because it's Dragon Priest. So I think we will definitely see some of that. But if you can give your opponent the Dukes for like 1 game in groups, that just might get you out of groups, you know? So it's probably worth doing in the end. And I definitely agree it's about like, against the lineup that leaves up Priest, which Priest deck do I want, right? That's the thought process.
Yeah. Also, it's not like Dragon Priest is a bad deck. It's still a
absolutely
really
not.
high tier deck.
Right. I agree. Neirea is back on the Dragon Priest. Kolento has Shadowstep Keleseth in his opening hand.
It's a pretty reasonable hype, I have to say.
If he doesn't get gas, though, he might end up with one of those hands that, like...
Oh.
Okay, that's some gas. Never mind. So it's pass, it's Keleseth, Shadowstep, hold the Keleseth, and then it's replay Keleseth,
You
whatever,
can also
plus
play,
everything.
like, if your opponent doesn't develop minions on turn 2, you can play Kelset, and you don't Shadow Step. And then next turn, you play Shadow Step.
Right.
You play Kelset, you play Coin, you play Backstep, and then you play Is it 8-8 or 10-10, Edwin?
A large number, Edwin.
A large number, Edwin,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
And also, you can get a one drop.
That's true. There
Kolento
is-
decides to pass, though. I really like the pass here, actually.
Yeah. So now that there is a 2-5 come down, he will probably just do Keleseth Shadow Step and then hold on to it, right? And then make the huge Edwin the turn after with the 0-mana Keleseth.
Yep.
There's also argument to play Kelset right now, just to buff all of your next minions. And you not necessarily have to play Edwin next turn, because Coin plus Vile Spine is also super valuable combination in that matchup.
Yeah, I can see that.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
And now you have, like, now
Yeah.
you have to play
Okay.
Vile Spine.
Yeah. So the way
Smash his face.
Kolento set this up is he was just planning to go Tor Creeper into Coin Valspine, I think.
And
It
that,
was
that
never-
plan still looks pretty good, right?
Yep.
And then he still has double backstep for his Edwin Nightlife.
Neirea's push is running out of steam very quickly here. At least it will be when it runs into this Valspine.
Oh, wow. Silence.
Pushed it.
Wow.
I mean, it looks great, but he's going to lose the board forever starting this turn.
Yeah.
So how is he ever going to do that last 10 damage? I'm not disagreeing with the play. I'm just saying that, like, even though it looks insane that Neirea's connected 20 already, he probably still just loses the game to this Valspine.
Well,
It was a great play. That was the play to win for sure, because if he developed the 4-drop and trades with his 10-10 into the Tor Creeper, he would have never won that game. I mean, he would have, could have, but I think this was a way higher percentage plan for Neirea.
I would agree, yeah. I mean, he's the way
he can still come back on board with double Dustbreaker. Potentially.
So would you Dustbreaker here?
No, I think Violet Drake is fine here because he contests the board pretty well, and Rock can't really efficiently trade
Right.
against Twilight Drake on board.
The reason I don't like the double Duskbreaker plan is that your opponent's on double Keleseth, right? So they're just going to... If you Duskbreaker
Yeah.
once with the intention of doing it again, they're just going to draw a huge minion and play that. And
Sure.
your Duskbreaker just doesn't deal with it, right?
Sure.
This guy's toast.
Not to mention, Kolento is going to have a 0-mana Corridor Creeper coming out as soon as these Duskbreakers start clearing, so it's not looking pretty.
I mean, Dragonfire Potion does something.
That is true.
What do you think about this draw, Pavel?
Don't think anything about this draw. I think it's a rubbish card right now.
I'm really pleased that Pavel started saying rubbish. Rubbish is a drastically underused word by anyone not from the UK. Keep it up.
I just played a board card game with Derek, and he used this word over and over again.
Okay. All right. Shout outs to Derek Brown for teaching Pavel
And
proper
actually,
English.
you know what? I never played that card game before. I don't remember the name, but it's like a space theme game. And he played this game like hundreds of times. And when we played first time, I just kicked his ass.
Cool story, Pavel.
You can ask him.
I definitely will, and I'm sure he will validate your story. Well, Neirea is pretty dead.
I don't think there's any out, right?
It's fishing with the powered shield, but even Dragonfire just doesn't clear enough to be relevant. He's just dead. Very, very dead. That is a quick, evened up series, and now Neirea is down to Druid or Mage to queue back into this. And I think both of those classes can be a variety of decks right now. I think Mage is most likely Burn Mage.
Yeah.
Druid can be any. Druid could be Big Druid. It could be Aggro Druid. It could be Miracle Druid that we saw from AK Wonder. mage, mostly burn mage, but there's the chance that it's like a big spell mage. or
Well,
just
I
like a
would
strong
say
mage.
most likely it will be either quest mage or secret mage, but I don't think it will be burn mage.
Well, when I'm saying burn mage, I mean secret
Okay,
mage, basically.
okay,
Yeah. Just
sure.
the deck with Aluneth and burning
Okay.
your opponent in the face. But yeah, sure.
Just aggro druid.
So I don't remember who said that. I think it was Crane, actually, that said he thought aggro druid would be the most popular druid deck in this tournament. And so far, he hasn't been far off correct. We've seen a fair few aggro druids hanging around both on A and B streams. So.
Yeah, I brought it as well. I did not think it would be that popular because when I talked to people, a lot of people were considering Jade and all these weird new builds and whatever.
What kind of builds?
A lot of people brought the Jade with like the new 1-mana spell and the 4-mana spell that summons the 4-drop.
Wait,
Haven't seen that deck?
play that in Jade? The 4-mana recruit card?
Yeah, I don't know. I've seen so many weird builds.
All right, sure.
But they play like the 3/6 taunt and then the 3/5,
Oh, yeah, sure.
and they cut the Mire Keepers.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm with you. I love how vague everyone is about cards right now.
I know none of the cards. I just call them by stats.
It's just like, yeah, the 3/6 thing and then the 3/5.
It's okay.
And everyone's just like, yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about, because we actually do.
It's
but
okay.
none
I
of us know what
haven't
it's
played with new cards as even a single game.
Wow.
So it's fine.
called. I saw you downstairs, just like, people were playing cards against you. Like, oh, what does that do? Just like bouncing over it.
What did you submit?
It's a good question, but I'm not going to tell you.
Pavel just net decked. He's just a dirty net deck.
Not really. I talked with my friends and actually changed some cards. I did research on decks that people got success with in ladder and in tournaments. And actually changed a few cards
Okay.
that I think can make deck better.
Sure. So, whose hand are we liking here in very tempo-based matchup? There's corridor creepers on both sides. Kolento's just drawn patches, but he also has backstab SI and captain, which are like 3 of the best tempo plays you can have in the early game. Who do we like?
If I had the choice, I would still rather be on the druid side here.
I mean, obviously, especially after that patches draw.
Yeah.
I did start that sentence before Living Mana came into the hand as well, which is an incredibly big deal in this matchup. Like, you can
It
almost
is.
just trade 1 for 1 and then just jam Living Mana on 5, and that's GG a lot of the time. No buffs in hand for Neirea, though, which I do feel is one of the worst feelings in Hearthstone, playing aggro druid without drawing any buffs.
Yeah.
Because all of your minions just like hit like wet noodles if you don't buff them, right? Like you can just never get anything done. You just have a bunch of like 1 and 2
Oh.
attack minions in your deck.
But look at that Galaka draw, though. Like, Kolento gonna play Satsi Captain next turn. I think he just gets Galaka Roller.
Yep,
That's gonna hurt.
there's no real way around it, right? Kolento needs to pick up a play here, and that is not it.
I believe he'll be also able to play
The Creeper?
Corridor Creeper on turn 4 with the Galaka. And I think he has Living Mana as a follow-up. And if Kolento doesn't pick up a backstab to activate his Vile Spine Slayer, it probably will be just game over at that point.
Can Kolento 200 IQ this and play around Galactic Crawler? Because you know it's a card aggro druid
No, he
running,
can't,
right?
because
No
he
way.
don't develop enough pressure
So hang on, wait.
without playing Satsi
So
Captain.
if you deckhand patches and then trade through 1, 2, 3...
No, it's just not strong enough. You can't really afford.
3 minions die, though,
do
and then
that.
then you play a 2
The
mana
Creeper?
5/5 afterwards.
That would be very next level.
I mean, I like it. Obviously, I can see the Galactic Crawler in the
Okay.
hand, which is the reason why I like it, but I think you can make the read, right?
Okay,
like,
but,
Galactic Crawler is a card that you know your opponent's playing in aggro druid.
Well, wait, he didn't show his aggro druid list yet.
No, but they're always playing Galactic
Okay.
Crawler, right? Like, every single time.
Okay.
This is why they call him the
Kolento is
K-God.
brilliant. Like, he is just a really good player. He is just a very, very good Hearthstone player. I think he probably still loses, but that play was awesome.
If he doesn't pick up anything, he's gonna be forced to play into the Golaka next turn anyway, though.
Yeah.
So it will all depend on the next draw.
Right, but the difference is he gets a 5-5 ahead
5-5,
of the
yeah.
game, right? So you can actually fight back against the tempo swing because you tempo swung first, right? Like you got a 5-5 ahead and then you can push back through the Galactic Crawler. I think this makes sense. Plus, he can just top deck his way out of it. Just never have to play captain, which would be amazing. Like, he just has to draw one play this turn, even if it's like 3-drop plus redagger, that's fine. Then the turn after, you just go patches, trade patches into something, and then Vile Spine something.
Scalebane will be nice.
Scalebane would be lovely.
Lovely.
But with all that said, I don't think he's fighting his way through double living mana this turn. And he doesn't find a play.
You can always get Starfall or your Swashbucklers.
That's true. Pavel is a believer in the 1-mana 1/1s. He knows what's up. Yeah, that's not it, is it?
Got to see the lines.
Crowd's just freaking out. South Sea Captain drops.
Well, he can Golaka and Living Mana, so this is an interesting turn.
Yeah. I mean, it's also just a better turn to make your opponent Galactic Crawler, right? They're not Scalebaning, they're not playing Living Mana. It's the little things.
We still have patches, right, as Neirea?
Yes. I want to say yes.
Yeah, he still has patches. So you just playing Galaka now. Hero powering Swash, playing Blue Sail Corsair. The only question if you trade your 5-5 against his 5-4, or do you go face with it?
Is there any reason to trade? I mean, you're the one that can draw a buff, right?
The reason to trade is to play around Vile Spine Slayer.
Sure. Yeah, okay. I can see that. But yeah, Galaka's just too strong. It's the best target in the deck.
Well, you trade because you know there's patches in hand, right? So you know half of the...
That's true. Yeah, you're right. Probably the last turn he could have drawn Corridor Creeper for it to be really relevant as well. Because he got a nice discount on it straight away there.
Well, not really. Next turn would have been also good because you just play Anaconda and then you get it from a Death Rattle.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. There's just no way he has the gas to fight through 2 living mana though, surely.
Yeah, so you have to play Anaconda.
Or do you kill a 2-2 or a 1-2?
You have to kill the 1-2.
But it's not like you can fight for board at this point. But at the same time, it's not like you can raise Druid. So yeah, I'm agree with trading. So basically, just does he still has second Swash? Because I believe that Swash is the only out here at this point.
Is Bone Marin out?
No. I don't think so.
Yeah, if he Bone Mares, he just gets to run Direwolf through it next turn, right? It's not even that big of a deal. Elven Minstrel picked up. Can combo it.
It's not an out.
Can find him the Swash, though.
Well, there's only 6 on board. But yeah, we can see that there's a second living mana.
Right. And he just gave him the 5 that he needs to be able to replay it. Which I'm not calling a mistake. Obviously, he had to trade all the damage off the board. You're not playing around second living mana at this point. It's just worked out really nicely for Neirea.
Well, I actually kind of liked playing LM Master over Vile Spine Slayer here.
I did too.
Because playing around second living mana, that's first. Second, you also play around Scalebane. And it's not like you're winning if... Like, you're losing against Outdrawer anyway.
Right.
The only reason to trade was to play around Mark with the Lotus or Power with the Wild. But don't think you can win if he has these cards anyway.
Hey, how much is he pushing here? He's going to push and put him to 3, put him to 4 and play 2 more minions. Huh.
This actually seems like a... Is there any chance for Kolento now?
I feel like Bone Mare is suddenly a much better card than it was a while ago because of this play.
No, that's not an out. So if it was Bone Mare, he could have traded 3-1 into 2-2. Yeah, Bone Mare would have been an out for sure.
Actually, also... Oh, never mind.
Having said that, though, is it any better if he like traded and replayed Living Mana for 7 guys? Like traded off to get the 7 mana back and then played Living Mana for 7? Is he any better against Bone Mare then? He'd have Direwolf in his hand. That's
then he would have Direwolf
right?
to trade in, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking.
Huh. As it is, Neirea basically, I mean, from Neirea's perspective, he just went for the straight lethal push, right? He said, if you have nothing, I kill you exactly next turn based on the attacks that I can see you can make. And it paid out for him.
Yeah, and he also had to read that there was no Bone Mare last turn, so
yeah,
it was like it had to be top deck Bone Mare.
And you know Elven Minstrel is a card that they're playing, but they can never like combo Elven Minstrel, draw Bone Mare, and play it.
Yeah,
That's just
but
impossible to...
the question is, do you ever lose if you just trade and play second Living
I
Mana?
didn't think so. I didn't think you could, but I mean...
I think at that point of the game, you should make the play that gives you the last chance of losing the game. Like, can he ever lose by going face, or can he ever lose by trading and going for Living Mana?
Yeah. I mean, I'm with you. I was trading and playing second Living Mana that turn every single time. Kolento now queuing in Control Warlock that we've seen a bunch of different builds of so far. I think you had Q Block, right?
Yes,
You're the only
Q-Block.
player that I've seen that had it so far.
I think...
You must have got it in like real last minute, right? If you were able to submit.
No.
Really?
You know
Okay.
Ahirun, the Twitter guy who
yeah.
retweets everything?
Yeah.
He had the deck on his Twitter on the 10th, so 3 days ago.
Really?
And no one picked it up.
Wow. Okay.
And I was just...
Wait, what kind of deck?
Q-Block. You don't know Q-Block?
Q-Block? What is Q-Block?
Well, you play Doomguard and then you eat it with the Carnivorous Cube thing, the 4/6 Death Rattle.
Or 6?
Pavel has it.
Okay. I see.
Yeah.
Do you
And
play-
then you just get like a whole bunch of Doomguards, like it's 4, 6, 8 Doomguards over the course of the game.
How do you summon Doomguard on board?
With the weapon.
With the weapon or the 5 mana 2 Possess Lackey, the 2/2 recruit guy.
Okay. And what does Varlock weapon do?
Ladies and gentlemen, your Hearthstone world champion, Pavel. The weapon summons a demon every turn from your hand.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good card.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think it matters what kind of Warlock you run. Like in practice, I think Control Lock just crushes a lot of aggro decks, and including aggro Druid. And we couldn't already seen his hand. He has the
Yeah, I
Mistress,
think,
he has the Foul.
I think the only bad matchup for Control Warlock right now is Kazaku's Priest.
Yeah. And you
Agreed.
brought that.
Yep, 100% agree.
And Quest Mage, probably.
Yeah. I think Q Block potentially has, like, if you're playing the Cube version, then I think Big Priest is also bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, apart from that, basically just Priest is the only bad matchup for Control Warlock right now. No, I didn't really see anyone predicting that Control Warlock was going to be nuts from the cards either. It just turns out that like Spellstone's way better than people thought it was. Some people thought Void Lord was good, but it turns out it's even better than that as well.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
I was testing the 5 mana 2/2 and the 3/9 for Trinity series, and Crane didn't believe me. He thought it was just a meme. And they were telling me to stop testing that deck the entire weekend. It was bad, man.
Really?
Yeah.
No, what the story that you need to come out with now is that you tried to tell them that Corridor Creeper was amazing, and
Yeah.
then they told you to shut up. Like, obviously, a 7-mana 5/5 isn't good. Speaking of which, this Corridor Creeper is going to be pretty insane
Yep.
for Neirea. He has had one of the starts that can put up a fight, at least against Control Warlock, because he doesn't just have little tokens on his board. He's actually gone big on one minion, which is a lot harder for Kolento to deal with. Like, quite often, like, they can defile and kill all the 1/2s and 1/3s in the world, right? But if you have one big target alongside that, suddenly they have to spellstone that one thing, and that's their whole turn. And then your other things connect as well, and you can start to ramp up the damage bit by bit. So Neirea is actually playing this pretty well right now, and he's drawn a good hand for the matchup to allow it as well. But he has a shot, but obviously Control Warlock still very, very favored in this matchup.
He just had to sunk in 3 minions,
especially
and
with
pushes
that
only
hand.
4.
Yeah, exactly.
He has a 2-1 with Defile and Mistress of Mixtures.
And Warlock just has so much heal now. It's
Yeah.
insane. What do you do here, though?
It's
Do
a
you
good
just-
question.
What does this 1-mana card do?
What?
This one?
The spell?
No, that's spell.
Destroy a minion, destroy a friendly minion and heal.
Heal 8.
Yeah.
He light?
Yes.
Yes.
Wow. Interesting.
That is another card that's played in Cube Block, because then you can destroy your own cubes whenever you want and get all the Doom Guards.
Okay, I see.
I bet Pavel's just pretending right now that he doesn't know to hide the fact that he's running all these OP decks.
100%. 100%. That's what's
100%.
happening right now.
700%.
Yeah. I don't get trolled by like people's straight face trolling too often, but Pavel is the best at it that I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Just like keeping a straight face while trolling people.
I actually have no
He's
idea
a
now.
god.
You got me.
Neirea's just going to run out of pressure here so quickly. Like, the total amount of damage you have to do to Warlock these days to kill them is, like, kind of absurd.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Warlock spent a long time asking for anti-killbot back, and honestly, I think they got way better than that.
They got
out of
the
this
1 mana.
expansion. Yeah, they got it for 1 mana, exactly.
Not bad.
Plus a Spellstone. Plus Plated Beetle sometimes. Plus Mistress of Mixtures. Plus Siphon Soul. Plus Gul'dan.
Plus Defile.
Defile doesn't heal you, Pavel. Come
But,
on.
but it heals you with Mistress of Mixtures.
Ah, okay.
Ah.
Outplayed.
Be smart.
Yeah. I should know better than to argue with Pavel. He's just a genius. Spellstone.
Yeah.
Yup. Oh, where did all your pressure go? It's adorable.
Okay, this game is over.
You're that confident, huh?
You can play Barnes plus Defile.
Living mana into Savage Roar? Does that
No.
get him out of it? No.
You can play Barnes plus Defile. With that top deck, you don't even have to play Barnes.
Yep.
Next turn, you can coin
Coin Nether.
Nether.
Yeah. Yep. All right. I don't see it either.
Only a fool rejects the Lich King.
Kolento's going to choose to clear here, though. And Coil on the 4-1, right? Yeah, okay. 2 Void Lords in hand, so Neirea has roughly 2 turns to kill Kolento from this position. He's drawing 1 card a turn, his board is empty.
GG.
Yeah.
So now the only question, what kind of mage Neirea has. If it's a quest mage, then he's in a favorable position. But if it's a secret mage, then I think Kolento is in the driver's seat.
I do think he likes Quest Mage, and I think he's quite good at the deck. Particularly from like listening to that conversation we were talking about earlier, like people, he walked over and like Orange was immediately like, okay, I default to Neirea. Like what does Neirea say about the play? So I'm assuming from that interaction that he's played a great deal of Quest Mage.
Yeah, also historically, Neirea likes to play some kind of control decks and some combo.
Right.
Some combo fancy decks.
Yeah, I wouldn't think Neirea would go full aggro lineup here. So seeing aggro Druid, I would doubt it it's also aggro
Yeah,
mage.
he just doesn't like honorable decks.
Neirea was a OTK Worgen specialist back in the day as well, right? There was
Yeah.
actually a series he 3-0'd Kolento with OTK Worgen. I remember watching this. Last hero standing, he 3-0 swept Kolento with OTK Worgen. It was one of the most insane
Is it was
things
also
I've
in
ever seen.
SeatStory?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
In the meantime, Mark of the Lotus is about as useless a draw as Neirea could have picked up. So yeah.
It's not like Living Mana would have to win the game at this point.
No, there's no cards in his deck that win the game at this point. I mean, honestly, if Neirea played Living Mana, Kolento probably wouldn't even bother to clear it. He'd just coin the Void Lord.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
And concede. Unless there is a Spellbreaker in your deck, you are never hitting this guy in the face ever again.
Or are we still on the information gathering plan?
Maybe. But Kolento does not have to play another card for the rest of the game.
There is just a real warrior, just never give up.
It's fair. Right? Like, I feel like fishing for information here is just wasting both of your times, because Kolento doesn't have to reveal any information in the spot. Like, he revealed the fact he played a second Void Lord. Sure.
Yeah.
Because he can just do this for the rest of the game now.
Yeah,
Sure.
pretty good.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Neirea looks like he's committed to sticking it out, though. If we don't see a concede this turn, we're never going to see it. I will tell you that.
Okay.
There we go.
We
All
got
right.
Here we go, boys.
There we go. So it is going to come down to that mage. So you were saying Quest Mage and Secret Mage are the two you're expecting, but we have a hunch just based on Neirea as a person.
Yeah,
He's
I'm
a-
calling Quest Mage.
He's a Quest Mage gamer. Agreed, Pavel?
Yeah, it also could be a new OTK mage without the quest.
I think that one sucks.
It's just worse.
Yeah.
It's just
You think
straight up
so?
worse.
Yeah.
A lot of people were saying me that this mage is actually better than the quest version.
I don't understand how that can
It was
possibly be true.
It was Falcone.
Oh, well, that makes sense. Yeah, okay, yeah. Falcone's just wrong about everything.
Everything.
Yeah,
Okay. You're so mean.
I know. It's kind of my gimmick, though. I've just got to stick to it at this point, you know? I've dug my grave, now I've got to lie in it.
Well, seems like we
Ooh.
were right.
Battling Book. It's a good card.
Nice meme. Ah!
Wow.
A babbling book that gives you Deck of Wonders. The Hearthstone Dream.
So I hate to call games too soon,
Wait.
but I just
Wait,
don't
wait.
think Warlock stands a chance.
Why wouldn't you just ping this turn instead of playing a quest?
Good question. So
Because-
next turn, he's spending 3 mana. Is he spending 4 mana the turn after that?
But
No.
Possibly not.
he doesn't care about the 1/1 on the board, right?
Not really. I mean, it's still relevant.
I think all things considered, because you might just end up with like a glyph play. You might end up coining to
Okay.
go 5 into 5. Like
Sure.
the risk of screwing up your mana curve
Okay.
is just greater than a 1/1 on board.
Sure.
Right? Kolento whiffs on the Barnes. He probably needed that to be exactly Rin to have any chance, right? And then just try and race the draw.
Oh yeah, that was his chance, I guess.
Yeah, he had to try and race the draw with Rin and then try and destroy the deck before he drew one of the combo pieces that he needs. Probably Antonidas, because everything else can kind of be replaced with other pieces. You get random simulacrums and molten reflections, but you need exactly Antonidas.
Does he has Gnome Raffle in his deck?
Oh, he does. Yeah, we saw one in the last game, so that's
So
possible.
that's might
From
be
Kolento's side?
the way to win.
Yes, we definitely saw the gnome. Pavel's right, yeah.
And how about Stonehill Defender?
We didn't see a stone.
No.
Okay.
You thinking about Dirty Rat?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, there are ways. We had this conversation with Crane earlier, though. Like, even if you have Gnome Feratu and you burn one card from their deck, you're actually more often digging them towards
Yes.
the card that they need than killing the card that they need,
Yes.
right? But in a matchup where you have 0% to win, it's still better than not having that option.
Yeah,
For sure.
Nosferatu is a very confusing and misunderstood card overall. So there's a second apprentice. He has 2 reflections in his hand already. So Neirea is a single Antonidas away from victory at this point. There is
He
a
still
win
needs
back.
to complete the quest, and he has 9 cards on his hand. Next turn he'll have 10 cards, and somehow he needs to get rid of his cards to be able to play Kabbaliston,
That's
to be
true.
able to generate random cards.
And he actually
And,
doesn't want to play Deck
Yeah, he
of
doesn't
Wonders
really
ever,
have
right?
anything to play.
Yeah.
He don't want to play Sources Apprentice. He can't really play Kolento Oracle because it will overdraw himself. And the only card that he can play now is Frost Nova and Blizzard.
Yeah. Playing Deck of Wonders is kind of actively detrimental to your deck as well, because we actually saw this happen to RDU, where Deck of Wonders can just troll you on important turns. Like if you go off and you take your extra turn and then you draw a Deck of Wonders and it just casts Twisting Nether, you lose, right? Because you've just played all your apprentices and then blown them all up. So if Neirea can avoid it, he'd probably like to just never play that card.
No,
But it's
he's
one
just-
of his random generated cards that he needs to play to complete the quest.
It's a good card for some Clown Fiesta moments, like Yoxaron.
Yeah, exactly. I can't wait for the next time you play Amnesiac, where you next level it, you Babbling Book into a deck of Wonders, and then the Deck of Wonders polymorphs his Malagos.
So while you guys were talking, you missed that Neirea just went for the risky play and played Colette Oracle and on purpose milled a card.
And what did he mill?
He milled a 2/3, not important, but that was Colento's out.
That could have been Tony right there, huh?
Do you think he just? Do you think he did it on purpose, or do you think he missed up?
I think he 100% did it on purpose.
I think he did it on purpose because his hand is so awkward, like you said before, that he had to go for it.
Like, what's the plan to play these cards out of your hand without ever burning?
Yeah.
Right? I just don't see it. At some point, you're going to burn cards.
Could have play Blizzard now.
I'm just gonna give him the credit for doing that on purpose.
Okay,
I think he's good enough for
sure.
to consider that.
With only 2 freezes in hand, I think he wants to stretch the freezes out a little bit further than that. Like, if you consider the only 2 playable cards in his hand, Blizzard and Frost Nova, and he casts those back to back over the next 2 turns, he's not getting enough turns over the course of the game, right, to win. Well, it's Rin time. Here's the race. Kolento has the deck burning win condition versus Neirea's drawing his Antonidas and completing his quest win condition. Crucially, Kolento actually has a good amount of pressure right now alongside that as well. So Neirea's under pressure from just getting his blocks popped one by one.
I mean, he pushes like 3 a turn.
Right, but if he's pushing enough damage and he has a big enough board that he's demanding a freeze every turn, right? Like if his board doesn't get frozen, he can pop a block in most situations. That's the best you can do most of the time.
Oh,
That's not bad.
It's probably second best
Right.
card to get rid of
Yeah. Second best that's possible in this situation.
after Molten Reflection and Sources Apprentice, but he already has it in his hand.
Yeah, exactly. So like Tony would be the best, Ice Block second, based on the cards that are left in the deck. This is a lot closer than it was looking on turn 1.
it is actually.
It is.
So Neirea has guaranteed 3 turns at least.
So
because
now-
of 2 freezes.
How many turns needs Kolento to be able to play 10 mana
So
guy?
he needs to summon a
Yes,
4/4, a
3
5/5, a
turns.
6/6. So he needs 3 turns.
Yeah.
So he can play a 10-10 on turn 11 and destroy Nerea's deck.
Yes.
So if Neirea doesn't draw Antonidas in next 3 turns, he'll just lose the game.
Neirea still has 11 cards remaining. Arcanologist is nice. He's now going to go down to 8. He has Novice in hand as well. He has 9 in hand.
Wait, is this actually gonna happen?
Yeah. This is really, really tight. Oh wait, no, Kolento needs another turn because he can't double. Oh no, he can play 1 this turn and something else, then 2 the turn after, and
Yes.
then the 10 turn.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's 3 turns. He also has to, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
He has to make space on his board to be able to make that happen as well.
Well, meanwhile, still no Anton.
I hope you like my invention.
Nova's huge, though, at some point. I really want to see Neirea trading off his own minions here to take away the option for Kolento to trade and reduce his own board size. Because if he plays 2 more at the 5/5 and the 6/6 this turn, then his board's full, and then you can Frost Nova, and he can't play the 10/10 anymore. Frost Nova also works. Then you don't have to trade if you don't want to. So now what's your plan?
Oh, that's actually really awkward for Kolento because he won't be able to play it next
That's
turn.
what I'm saying, yeah. He's filling the board. So
I feel like he should have played Hellfire previous turn.
Yeah, was there a way for Kolento to play around it?
there was,
Yes.
yeah. If he'd have Hellfired instead of using the Spellstone, he would have cleared more minions. He
Yeah.
only cleared 1. He could have cleared 3, 4 even. Had a ton of space on the board. So now that Frost Nova from the Glyph actually buys a whole extra turn
Oh,
for
wow.
Neirea.
These matchups are actually so hard to pilot. I would have messed up as well. I'm
Yeah.
not gonna lie.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of people hate Quest Mage because they think it's easy to play. I think that's nonsense. I think the deck's actually very hard to play. I just think it's incredibly stupid.
I think a lot of people hate Quest Mage, not because it's easy to play, but because you can't really do anything to prevent him of killing you.
I hate you.
It is actually not easy deck to play by any means.
Counterspell.
Actually not bad.
Yeah. Again, Neirea took another risk there. If he didn't get a playable from Kabbalist Tome,
Yeah.
he was in trouble again, was burning another card. Now you see him trading off his minions. Because he does want to reduce the options as much as possible. And this is a whole extra turn now.
So how many
Neirea.
cards does Neirea have left?
He has 6. He's 4 out of 6 on the quest. Which doesn't really matter because he has 2 more Kabbalist Tomes in his hand, which will get played for 1 or 0, depending on how many apprentices he ends up with.
Unless you get triple Pyroblast.
Right. Glacial Mysteries, all
Yes.
that kind of madness.
So this basically means Neirea is gonna go off next turn every single time here, I think. Because if he doesn't, then he knows that Colin's gonna destroy his deck.
Yes.
So next turn is the turn to go off, and then he
So-
has to find.
Basically, if Kolento would have played Hellfire 2 turns ago, he would have win the game now.
Yeah.
Correct, yes. That is a lot of long-term planning. I mean, we saw an extra turn played out, which is when I caught it and when Pavel caught it, but, like, neither of us said that the turn it happened, right?
yeah.
Neither of us said, like, I'll play Hellfire.
I actually thought about it seriously.
Yeah, no, sure did.
I would do Hellfire.
I believe you, Pavel.
So,
So, yeah, he has to go, right?
Yeah, he has to go now. Finish the quest and find Anton on the very next draw, which is a 1 and 5,
Play
right?
Simulacrum first. So he can have 5 sources apparently on board right now.
Yep.
Maybe even 6. Yeah, can I have 6? And then you can play all the spells in the world.
That's true, actually. And then he actually has outs that aren't even the Antonidas. Like, the right combination of spells
Yeah.
from Kabbalist Tome to kill the 1/3s, and he actually connects enough damage with the 3/2s and, like, a fireball on top of that or whatever, just to end the game.
Yeah.
This is actually really nice. Okay, there's 1 tome. GG. One way or the other, the game ends this turn. So first check, is this Tony off the top? The animations always happen way too fast for the game to keep up with on these turns, which is incredibly frustrating. We're still waiting for a card draw. There's another apprentice. AI for Tony.
Okay.
There it is. And that
Here
is
we
game
go.
and series for Neirea by 1 turn. 1 turn that Kolento could have found if he'd have played differently with his whatever that thing is called. Azari? Something like that.
I think Azari.
Yeah. The thing that eats your deck.
Pavel would have won this game.
Pavel says he would have won this game, and we choose to believe him because we know he's a fantastic player. But until he's in that seat in this situation, you never know.
Sure.
Are you going to BM Kolento when he gets here?
No.
Okay.
Are you going to BM?
No, I don't have the balls.
I'm not asking. Kolento scares me, dude. I'm not asking that question.
Okay.
Yeah.